Hey there, guys. Welcome back. It is May 10th, 1908 now. This is Sunday. This is the Tigers of the Browns. This game was actually a doubleheader in real life because I think they were making up a game that was postponed due to rain. But as scheduled, it was scheduled just to be an individual game, just like all four games on this day. I always like to remind you of the standings. You can see that the Tigers are 3 games out of first place. The Browns are a game and a half out now after leading for a little bit of time this season. And so we'll see if the Browns can't get this turned around again. It'll be Germany Schaefer up here for Detroit. He rolls a 12 for a 24. Let me try to put this in again. There we go. It's a ground ball to shortstop. And it's going to be Wallace who has that, throws to first, one away. Bill Coughlin now. Coughlin rolls a 63 for a 30. It's a fly ball to left field. It's Stone who has that, 2 gone. Just like that. Matty McIntyre rolls a 42 for a 14. He'll take his base on a walk, and that brings up Ty Cobb. Cobb hitting 271 this season, 307 the on-base percentage, 396 the slugging percentage. He's starting to turn it around a little bit here, and he rolls a 22 for a 0. This will turn it around a lot, and it's a 21 for a 7. It's going to be a base hit for Cobb, but the runner is thrown out at third because of the good arm of Hoffman, the center fielder, and so we go to the bottom of the first. Hope Ferris up there for St. Louis. Rolls a 24 for a 13. He'll strike out, 1 away. Here's Tom Jones. Jones rolls a 56 for a 32, fly ball right field, and Cobb has that for the out, 2 away. Roy Hartzell. He rolls a 51 for an 8. That's going to be a single, and then he's caught stealing thanks to the little C, and we go to the top of the second. 1 hit for each team, and it'll be Claude Rossman for the Tigers. Rossman rolls a 62 for a 12. It's going to be a little E. It rolls a 31. So it's a ground ball over to the first baseman, Jones, who gets it himself and goes to the bag himself, 1 away. Red Downs now. Rolls a 24 for a 13. He strikes out, 2 away. First strikeout for Jack Powell. Powell, by the way, 2 and 3, 2.48 ERA, which is not great. Boz Schmidt now rolls a 13 for a 36, changed to 23, and that's going to be a bouncer in front of the catcher. Spencer throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the second. I say that ERA is not great. Today you think it's amazing. Ed Killian, the pitcher for the Browns, is a 2.12 ERA, and he's 0-3. So here's George Stone for the Browns. I'm sorry, for the Tigers. He's the pitcher for the Tigers. There you go. Here's George Stone for the Browns, taking a walk from Killian, who pitches for the Tigers. And now you know. That'll put up Jimmy Williams with the runner on first base and nobody out, and we'll hit and run a little bit. Williams rolls a 12 for 25, and that's not a great thing with the hit and run. That's a line drive over to the second baseman, Downs, who grabs that one and then throws on over to first for the double play, and that brings up Tubby Spencer, 2 outs. Spencer rolls a 56 for 34, and there is the little E roll, 36 out of the range. Pop fly over to short. Shortstop Wallace has that. Schaefer has that for the out, and we go to the top of the third. Sam Crawford up here now for the Tigers. Crawford hitting 315, 358 slugging percentage, or on-base percentage, 360 the slugging. Just about the same on both, and he's going to move up in the lineup because, as you know, I like to redo it after the Sunday games. Crawford rolls a 23 for a 32 as a fly ball to right field. Hartzell has that, 1 away. Ed Killian now rolls a 62 for a 12. That's a ground ball over to first, and it's going to be Rossman doing that himself to the bag, 2 away. Here's Schaefer, and Germany rolls a 14 for a 43 fly ball to left field. Stone has that, and we go to the bottom of the third. Similar to yesterday's game, though different season, different simulator. And let's see what Danny Hoffman can do. He rolls an 11 for a 0, and his second roll is a 51 for a 2. That's going to be a triple to left center for the Browns center fielder. Infield will come in. Hoffman's not particularly fast. He does have the 11. That's not going to help us if we bunt. Wallace is hitting 161. Let's have him swing away anyway. He rolls a 14 for a 43. That's a fly ball to left field, and it's McIntyre has that for the out, and the run scores, and so the gamble took off or paid off, and that means it's a 1-0 game with Jack Powell up, 1 out, bottom of the third. Powell rolls a 31 for a 9 to pop up to the left side, and Coughlin has that for the out, 2 away, and it's Hope Ferris time. Ferris rolls a 25 for an 8. There's a single left center field, third hit for the Browns, and here comes Tom Jones. Runner on at first base. Rolls a 64 for a 13, and that's a strikeout number 2 for Killian. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. It's Bill Coughlin here for the Tigers. Bill rolls a 62 for a 12. It's a ground ball over to first. Jones, the first baseman, grabs that, goes to the bag, 1 away. Matty McIntyre rolls a 44 for a 7. That's a single to right field. And here comes Ty Cobb again. McIntyre, does he have it? He does. We're going to head and run with Cobb. Cobb, last time up, had a single that was a little disappointing after the double call and roll. This time the rule is a 32 for a 26. Good hit and run rule. That's a ground ball to second. And Williams has the ball, throws over to first with McIntyre already in there on him. There's 2 away. And here's Claude Rossman with a runner in scoring position. Rossman rolls a 61 for a 41, change to 36. That'll be a wild pitch on Powell, and McIntyre moves to third. Next roll is a 64 for a 13, and that's a strikeout. So Powell gets the strikeout, his second. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Roy Hartzell. Rolls a 63 for a 31, fly ball center field. Crawford has that, 1 away. George Stone now for the Browns. His rolls a 14 for a 43, this time hit to left field, and McIntyre's got that 2 away. Jimmy Williams rolls a 25 for an 8. There's a single to left center. That'll bring up Tubby Spencer. What a great name for a catcher. Spencer rolls a 46 for a 27. Ground ball to the left side. Coughlin has it. Flips over to Downs, the second baseman. We go to the top of the fifth. Still 1-0 in favor of the Browns. Here's Red Downs. Downs rolls a 65 for a 35. That's a foul ball left side, and Ferris, the third baseman, has that for the out, 1 away. Bosch Schmidt rolls a 36 for a 33. Pop up to the other side. The second baseman Downs has that 2. Second baseman Williams has that 2 gone. Keep mixing the teams up. Here's Sam Crawford. Rolls a 36 for a 14, and that's another walk from Powell. That's the second he's given up. And here's the pitcher, Ed Killian. Killian rolls a 65 for a 35, and that's a foul out. Spencer, the catcher, has that one behind the plate. And we go quickly to the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be Danny Hoffman for the Browns. Hoffman rolls a 21 for a 30, fly ball left field. McIntyre's got that for the out, 1 away. Bobby Wallace rolls up. We're going to redo that one again. That was not clear. It's a 52 for a 27, ground ball to the left side, and Coughlin has that, throws to first, 2 away. Jack Powell now rolls a 13 for a 23, change to 38. That'll be a ball. And it's a 26 for a 13, and he strikes out, number 3 for Killian. We go to the top of the 6th inning, still 1-0 St. Louis. Here's Germany Schaefer. Schaefer rolls a 46 for a 27, ground ball left side. Ferris has it on to first, 1 away. Bill Coughlin now rolls a 53 for a 19, change to 22. It's a ground ball first base side, and Rossman has it. Jones has it, flips on to Powell for the out, 2 away, and here's Matty McIntyre. McIntyre rolls a 46 for a 29. It's a comebacker over to Powell, who throws to first, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. So the big challenge here today is to see whether I can keep the team straight. It's always a problem. Hope Ferris leads this off for the Browns, bottom of the 6th inning. He rolls a 53 for a 20. It's changed to 16. It's a fly ball center field. Crawford has that for the out, 1 away. It's Tom Jones now. Jones rolls a 52 for a 27. Ground ball left side. Coughlin has it, throws to first, 2 gone. Here's Roy Hartzell. He rolls a 64 for a 29. That's a comebacker over to Killian. The pitcher throws to first for the out, and we go to the top of the 7th. It'll be Ty Cobb here for the Tigers, down only 1-0. Cobb rolls a 56 for a 22, change to 16. That'll be a fly ball over to center field. Hoffman's got it, 1 gone. Claude Rossman, who's 0 for 2 today. He rolls a 25 for an 8. That's a ground ball shortstop. It's Wallace who has it and throws to first, 2 away. Here now is Red Downs. He rolls a 66 for a 0. That's a 23 for a 6. That's going to be a double, and that will bring up Bosch Schmidt. The double to right center field splits the outfielders. Schmidt now, runner on his second, 2 gone. Only 3 hits for the Tigers. He rolls a 34 for a 44. Fly ball over to center field. Hoffman's got that for the out, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. George Stone it is now for the Brownies. Stone rolls a 33 for a 7. That's a single to right field. And that will bring up Jimmy Williams, runner on at first base. Stone can run, and so we hit and run. Rolls a 33 for a 7, and that's a good hit by Williams. Sends Stone over to third base. Runners onto the corners now for Tubby Spencer. 1-run lead. The infield comes in. Spencer hitting 061. We're going to have him bunt, and we're going to have the safety squeeze on. Let me try that again. Safety squeeze is on. There we go. And the roll is a 13 for a 36, and that's a passed ball. That's a big mistake by Schmidt, the catcher. Tubby Schmidt Tubby Schmidt. What's his name, Schmidt? Bosch Schmidt. There we go. Lets that one go by him. And Williams moves up, and Stone on third base ends up scoring, and it's a 2-0 ball game for the Browns. Here is Spencer again. This time he rolls a 31 for a 14, so he ends up walking, and Killian really loses him. They'll bring up Danny Hoffman, runners on at first and second. Danny rolls a 52 for a 27. Ground ball over to Coughlin, goes to Downs at second for 1, back onto first for the double play, and Williams moves up. And that brings up Bobby Wallace, number 8 hitter, hitting 159, having a real rough beginning of the season. Wallace rolls a 34 for a 44, fly ball over to center field. Crawford has it for the out, and we go to the top of the 8th. But the Browns do add that extra run, and it's a 2-0 game. Here's Sam Crawford trying to figure out Jack Powell. Crawford rolls a 61 for a 13, and he strikes out for the third strikeout recorded by Powell, 1 away. Here's now Ed Killian. We'll leave him in. He rolls a 66 for a 0. He's about to reward us for a faith, and then a 63 for a 6. It's a double for Killian. That brings up Germany Schaefer, runner on at second base for the Tigers. 1 out, top of the 8th inning, down 2-0. And Schaefer rolls a 26 for a 32. It's a fly ball over to right field. Hartzell's got that, 2 away. Here now, Bill Coughlin, runner on his second still. He rolls a 61 for a 32. It's another fly ball to right, and Hartzell's got that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Jack Powell to lead this off, and you bet your life we're going to leave him in. Powell today is 0 for 2. He rolls a 21 for a 13 and strikes out. 0 for 3 now. Killian gets number 4. 1 away, Hobe Ferris, who is 1 for 3, rolls a 23 for a 32. Fly ball to right field. Cobb has that. There's 2 away. Here now is Tom Jones, and he rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out. That is number 5 for Killian, and it might be too little too late. We go to the top of the 9th, and Jack Powell only has 3 outs left to get. And Marty McIntyre rolls a 35 for a 9. That'll be 1. It's a pop fly over to the left side. Ferris has it for the out, 1 away. Here's Mr. Danger, Ty Cobb, but he can only do so much because with nobody on base, he can't hit a 2-run homer. Cobb rolls a 45 for a 14. He'll end up walking, and that brings up Cloud Rossman. Cobb was known to be a star by this time in 1908, by the way. Don't kid yourself. Here's Rossman. Ooh, and he rolls a 66 for a 0. And then a 15 for a 2, and that's going to be a triple, and that will score the runner. And that makes this one a 1-run game. So Rossman is able to score the run, and just like that, we have an exciting one. That will bring up Downs. I'm looking at the wrong place. Infield will come in. We're not going to bunt. We want to keep Rossman in this game at first base. Infield will come in. They're just hoping that Downs can hit it out of the infield. And his roll is a 21 for a 30, fly ball to left field, and that is Stone making the catch, but the runner tags up and scores. And so the hitter's able to get it done here. Let's see here. That was Downs, and so that makes this into a tie ball game. Just like that, that changed very, very quickly. Now up is Bosch Schmidt. 2 outs, 2-2 ball game, tie score, top of the 9th inning. And Schmidt rolls a 36 for a 33. It's going to be a pop-up over the left side, and Williams has that for the out, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Only 11 hits between the two teams and no errors, but I might not want to speak too soon. Here's Roy Hartzell, who is 1 for 3. He rolls a 64 for a 29 as a comeback over to Killian, who throws to first, 1 away. George Stone is 1 for 2 today, 273, hitting very, very well. He rolls a 23 for a 32, fly ball to Cobb in right field, 2 away, and here's Jimmy Williams. And Jimmy rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out, and we will go to the top of the 10th. Going to be Sam Crawford here for the Tigers. And he rolls a 22 for a 0. Next rolls a 43 for an 8. That's a single for Crawford, and that brings up Ed Killian. Yeah, what would you do in this situation, right? I think I'm going to bunt with Killian instead of taking him out. I like to see guys throw complete games, but I might regret this. Killian will bunt. He rolls a 43 for a 29, and I do regret it. It's a bunt over to the right side. Jones has it, throws over to Wallace for the force out at second base, and there's 1 away. Here's Germany Schaefer with Killian on. Does Killian have an 11? He does not, so we're not going to hit and run with him, even though he's fast. Rolls a 46 for a 27, and that's a ground ball over to third base. Ferris goes on to Williams for 1. On to first, and Schaefer just beats that one out, and there are 2 away here for Bill Coughlin. Coughlin rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out, and so we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Tigers couldn't get any of those runners to second base, and here comes Tubby Spencer in the bottom part of the Browns' order. Spencer's 0 for 2 with a walk, and he rolls a 22 for an 8. That's a single to left center field. And that'll bring up Danny Hoffman. Now, Spencer definitely not fast, so we're going to try to play it a little bit safe. Hoffman rolls a 22 for a 7, and that's a single to right center, and that puts Spencer over on second base. And that is potentially a really big play. That'll bring up Wallace So runners on at first and second. Of course, it's that potential winning run that we really care about, which is Spencer. The other runner doesn't really matter much at all. Here comes Bobby Wallace hitting 157. This is another one of those questions, which is, so do we bum with him or do we just swing away? With runners on at first and second in this situation, I think you go ahead and let him swing away. Don't see the need to do anything kind of crazy with that. Wallace rolls a 65 for a 35. That's one reason that you might want to bunt. It's a foul ball, and the catcher Schmidt has that one away. Jack Powell is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. We're going to hit for him. It'll be Schweitzer. I love putting in Al Schweitzer. So Schweitzer comes in to hit. Runners on at first and second here for the Browns. 2-2 ball game. Roll is a 23 for a 32. Fly ball to right field. Cobb has that for the out, 2 away. And here is Hope Ferris. And Ferris rolls a 35 for a 9. That's a single that'll beat out the infield hit for Ferris. And the bases now are loaded. And we decided that we were going to stick with Killian, and it was a controversial decision. And that's just sort of the way that it is. Up next is Tom Jones. I'm not sure it was showing me Hope Ferris. Tom Jones comes up now with runners at the bases loaded and 2 out. And he rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. That's number 7 by Killian, and we will go to the top of the 11th inning. So now we'll see if we end up regretting making the decisions that we made. It'll be Bill Bailey who will come into this game, pitching for the Browns. He faces first Matty McIntyre. McIntyre is 1 for 3 today. Rolls a 56 for a 34. It's a pop-up over to the right side, or the left side, sorry. Wallace has it for the out, 1 away. Ty Cobb now, and Cobb rolls a 31 for an 8. That's a ground ball to short, and it's Wallace who has that, throws to first, 2 away. Claude Rossman now. Rolls a 54 for a 45. Fly ball right field. Hartzell's got that, and we go to the bottom of the 11th. It will be Roy Hartzell. Hartzell rolls a 64 for a 29, comebacker to Killian, who throws to first, 1 away. Killian has long since lost his effectiveness, but he's gotten the ERA down at least. Here's George Stone, who rolls a 13 for a 14, and there's a walk, number 17 of the season for Killian, number 3 of the ball game. Jimmy Williams now. He rolls a 12 for a 25, and there is a little E-roll. It's a 22, which is in the range. Changes it to a 19, so that's a ground ball over to third base, and Coughlin boots it, and that means there's runners on at first and second now with 1 away. Here's Tubby Spencer, and that, by the way, is the first error of the ball game. Tubby Spencer now with a chance to drive it in, and he rolls a 26 for a 30. Fly ball to left field. McIntyre's got it. There's 2 gone. And here's Danny Hoffman. He rolls a 12 for a 25. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Schaefer has it, flips over to Downs, covering at second base. And we go to the top of the 12th inning. Red Downs, the number 6 hitter for the Tigers, to lead this one off against Bill Bailey, still out there, still strong. Downs rolls a 43 for a 29. Comebacker to Bailey, throws to first, 1 away. Here is Bosch Schmidt. Schmidt is 0 for 4 today. 234 is average, and he rolls a 23 for a 32. Fly ball to right field. Hartzell's got that, 2 away. And here is Sam Crawford. And Crawford rolls a 55 for a 7. That's a single to right field, and that's important because that brings up Ed Killian's spot, and we're going to finally pinch hit for him, as we probably should have done before. And you know what I like to do with the Tigers. Davy Jones will come in. He hasn't gotten a hit any of the times I put him up, but I still like putting him out there. Runner on at first, 2 outs, top of the 12th, 2-2 tie. Jones rolls a 54 for a 45. Fly ball center field. Hoffman's got that for the out, and we go to the bottom of the 12th. So the tie remains, and who will come in for the Tigers is the question. I think we really want Malloy. No, we probably want somebody who's actually a decent pitcher. Probably not that guy. So this is part of the problem. I'm looking at these. Well, it will be Malloy in the end because there's not much to choose from. So Malloy comes into this ballgame. Herm Malloy, who has 8 innings pitched this season, no runs given up. He'll be up against Bobby Wallace. Wallace rolls a 33 for a 7, and so greets him right away with a single to right field. And that will bring up the pitcher's spot, and there's going to be another change here. Bailey has pitched very, very well, but it's time to win this ball game. So Wallace with the hit, and that brings up Bailey. We're not going to let Bailey hit. Looking through this, it's probably going to be Bert Blue who's going to come in. And, of course, it's always dangerous to bring in the catcher like this, the backup catcher, but we'll see what happens. So Blue goes into the game. Nobody out. Bottom of the 12th inning. 2-2 tie. Roll is a 63 for a 31. Fly ball center field. Crawford has that. One away. Maybe I should have hit and run. Hope Ferris now. Ferris rolls a 22 for a 7, and that's going to be a base hit. That's not just a base hit. That will send the runner Wallace to second. And as I've said before, that's the important run. Hit number 11 here, by the way, for the Browns. And so there's one away. Runners on a first and second, and here is Tom Jones. Jones hitting only 181. I'm trying to decide what exactly we want to do with him. We could just try to disrupt the double play. Maybe we should do that. Let's give that a try, because last time we didn't. So the bunt comes over, and the hole, it would have been a base hit to win the game. At 25 for an 8, it's a bunt back to Herm Malloy, who throws over to the second baseman Downs, covering at first. And there are 2 outs now. Still a 2-2 ball game. Runners on a second and third, and that will bring up Hartzell. So good job by Jones, I suppose, getting the bunt, but that probably could have gone a different way. Here's Roy Hartzell, and he rolls a 34 for a 44, fly ball to center field, and Crawford has that for the out. We're going to go to the top of the 13th inning. I am going to have to pause this here for a second. Dode Chris is going to come to this ball game for the Browns, and I will be right back. Talk to you in a sec. All right, that didn't take too long, did it? Now we have top of the 13th inning here for you. It's going to be Germany Schaefer here for the Tigers up against Dode Chris, who I think we just chose. Dode Chris comes in. He's got 4 innings pitched, giving up 6 hits, 7.32 ERA. So we'll see if Dode has any better luck here against the top of the Tigers lineup. Schaefer rolls a 53 for an 18. That's changed to 22. It's going to be a ground ball over to Jones, who flips over to Chris. 1 away. Bill Coughlin comes up next. 1 out, top of the 13th, 2-2 tie. Coughlin rolls in 51 for a 9. That's a single, and he's caught trying to steal second. We keep that little C going most of the time, and a situation like this is definitely believable. Here's Matty McIntyre. McIntyre rolls a 26 for a 27. It's a ground ball to the left side, and Ferris has it on to first. And it will go down to the bottom of the 13th inning. George Stone will lead this off with the Browns. So 2-2 game, both teams with multiple opportunities to win, and neither one has pushed anything across. Here is Stone. Stone rolls a 35 for a 9. That's a single, and then he is caught because of the little C trying to steal. 1 away. Jimmy Williams now rolls a 62 for a 12, and that's going to be a single off of Malloy because his grade is a 5. Remember, we talked about that the other day. Williams is on at first, and here is Tubby Spencer. Question here with Spencer, who's 1 for 4 today, is do we really want to give him a chance to try to hit, or do we want to bunt with Williams on? And Williams has only a 10, so we're not going to try to hit and run. We'll bunt. I should have had him hit away. He rolls a 66 for a 0. I tell you, every time. 56 for a 6. It's a bunt over to the left side, and Coughlin has it, throws over to Downs, covering at first, and now there's 2 away. And so the bunt did something, but it didn't do something very helpful. And 2 men out now, and so it was something by Spencer. Williams is on at second, and here's Danny Hoffman. Again, 2 outs against Herm Malloy. And his roll is a 65 for a 35. It's a foul ball over to the left side. Coughlin has that for the out, and we keep going. Top of the 14th inning. Ty Cobb is up here. Cobb is 1 for 4. Had that single early on. Remember that double column single? We were expecting a lot more from Ty. Then he hasn't done much else. He did walk, though, and he scored a run. One of the 2 that the Tigers have. His roll is a 56 for a 22. That's changed over to a 16. That's a fly ball to center field, and Kaufman has that for the out. 1 away. Interesting that 22 on the 56, kind of odd placement for what I think is his second error roll. So here's Claude Rossman with 1 out. Rolls a 22 for a 7. That's a single to right field, and here will be Red Downs. And I don't think that we're going to do anything fancy with Rossman. We're not. Downs rolls a 21 for a 30, fly ball left field, and Stone has that for the out. 2 away. I probably should have bunted. But, I don't know. Bosch Schmidt 0 for 5 today. Bosch Schmidt rolls a 16 for a 28. It's a ground ball over to short, and Wallace has it, throws to first, and we go to the bottom of the 14th. It will be Bobby Wallace leading this off. He's 1 for 4 today and did have a sacrifice fly. He rolls a 42 for a 23. It changed to 36. It's going to be a ball. Next roll is a 13 for a 14, so Malloy loses him, and that'll bring up Dode Chris. So we'll see if that ends up meaning much of anything or not. So far, there's been a lot of moments in this game that I thought would end up being meaningful. And since we're in the bottom of the 14th inning, you know how those went. Dode Chris will come up here, and he's going to be taken out right away. We're going to put in Charlie Jones to pinch hit. Wallace does not have that first column 11, so we're not going to risk it with him. We'll just swing away. You think we should bunt with Jones? Maybe we should. Let's try bunting with him. His roll is a 31 for a 9. That would have been a base hit, so we shouldn't have done this. It's a bunt over to the left side. Coughlin has it and throws over to the second baseman covering. There's one away. So this is one of those fool ideas that enter my mind, and I think that's actually somewhat realistic, to be honest with you, because there was a lot of bunting, as we've known, as we've talked about 1908. And it's probably not out of the question that a guy would have gotten a base hit if there hadn't been a bunt. Hope Ferris now, 1 out, and a runner on at second base in scoring position. And Ferris rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out. 2 away now, and here is Tom Jones. Jones rolls a 12 for a 24, and that's a pop-up over to the shortstop Schaefer, and we go to the top of the 15th. The new pitcher, who is it going to be? Looking like probably Bill Graham or Barney Pelty. It's going to be Barney. Barney Pelty comes into this. Only 1 inning pitch so far. Pitches against Sam Crawford and then a pinch hitter. Crawford rolls a 34 for a 44. Here's a little E-roll. 63. It's out of the range. Fly ball center field, and Hoffman has that for the out. 1 away. Here now is Herm Malloy. And who will come in for Malloy is going to be, do we really want to put Ira Thomas in? Yeah, we have 2 catchers here on the bench, so we will have Thomas hit. Thomas, so far this season, hitting 300, 20 plate appearances. And his roll is a 54 for a 45. 32 is a little E-roll, and it's a fly ball right field. Hartzell has it, 2 away, and here's Germany Schaefer. 2 outs, top of the 15th inning. Schaefer rolls a 32 for a 26. It's a ground ball over to second base, and Williams has it, throws to first for the out. And we go to the bottom of the 15th. No, Ira Thomas is not the pitcher, but this is where the problems lie. I mean, it's like Seaver or Suggs, because these 3 are our starters, and we really don't want to use either one of them. We don't have to. So it's going to be Suggs who comes into pitch. George Suggs, 8 innings pitched, 4.70 ERA, allowed 9 hits, which does not bode well for the Tigers. Here's Roy Hartzell. Rolls a 45 for a 14. That's 2 balls from Suggs right away. Next roll is a 35 for a 9, and that's a pop-up over to the left side. Coughlin has that for the out, 1 away. Here now is George Stone. Stone rolls a 35 for a 9, another pop-up left side, and it's, again, Coughlin making the catch, 2 gone. Jimmy Williams rolls a 32 for a 26, ground ball over to Downs at second. He throws to first, and we go to the top of the 16th. It'll be Bill Coughlin here for Detroit. Coughlin rolls a 22 for an 8. It's a ground ball to short, and it's Wallace who has that, throws to first, 1 away. Matty McIntyre now. He rolls a 33 for a 7, and there's finally another single. It's a single to right field for McIntyre, and that brings up the big man. So McIntyre gets the hit. That puts him at 2 for 6 today. Not exactly the best of times. Top of the 16th inning, and that will bring up Ty Cobb. So Cobb is up here now. Runner on at first base, and 1 man out. Cobb today is 1 for 5. McIntyre does have that 11. Let's try the hit and run. Stay out of the double play, and the roll's a 52 for a 27, and we did the right thing. Ground ball to the left side. Ferris has it and has to go to first because we were trying to stay out of the double play. Cobb has had a really poor time of it here at the bat, and that means that there's 2 men out. And here comes Rossman. Claude Rossman comes up, 2 for 6, with that triple. Remember, that was a key play and scored afterwards, and then had a single a couple innings ago. He rolls a 52 for a 27, ground ball to Ferris at third, who throws to first, and we go to the bottom of the 16th. It'll be Tubby Spencer here for the Browns. Tubby Spencer is 1 for 4, 0.86 average. He rolls a 15 for an 8. That's a single to left center field, and here we go again. This has not been a boring game for a game that has gone on this long, and a game in which nobody seems to be able to score. Both teams have had plenty of chances. There's been a lot of intrigue. There have been a lot of kind of weird plays. There's been a lot of oddness going on and silliness. And here's Danny Hoffman, who's about to bunt. And so he will bunt 2 for 6 today, as Hoffman also had a triple way back at the beginning of this game. He rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a good bunt. Left side, sorry, Coughlin has it and throws over to Downs, covering it first. And that means that there is 1 out for Bobby Wallace. So Hoffman potentially might have had the at-bat here, or the plate appearance, I guess we should say, that could finally decide this game. Remember, the Browns are just right out of first place. Was it a game and a half? Wallace up there now. Browns really could use a win here. Tigers are hoping to become relevant, finally, the defending American League champions. Here's Wallace with the runner on at second, 1 out. It rolls a 16 for a 26, and that's a ground ball over to Downs, who has it and throws to first. Now, at least that did send the runner over. So Spencer goes over to third, but there's 2 away. And here now is the pitcher's spot, Barney Pelty, and we're going to take Barney out. And that gives us Jim Stevens. Yeah, we're going to do this. Stevens will come on. We just have to hope there's no injury because there are no more players left on the Browns bench other than the pitchers. And Stevens rolls a 56 for a 34. Here is the little E-roll. It's a 55 out of the range, and that's a pop-up over to the first base side. Rossman has that for the out. And we go to the top of the 17th inning. It'll be Red Downs. Stevens is going to be probably the last pinch hitter that the Browns use. Well, we don't want to use either one of those. And I think Deneen probably is the other one that we're starting a lot. So it's going to be Bill Graham who will come on to pitch. Bill Graham will come on to pitch the top of the 17th inning. First batter is Red Downs, rolls a 34 for a 44. And here's a little E-roll. It's a 23, so it's in the range. And that ends up being an error here on Wallace, the shortstop. That means that, again, there is a chance here for the Tigers. So top of the 17th, Downs finds himself on at first base. And here comes Boss Schmidt, and he's certainly going to bunt. We have, I think, been down this road a couple of times before. Schmidt rolls a 54 for a 45. There is a little E-roll. 25 is a roll, just missing the range. That is a bunt over to the left side. Ferris has it, and he throws on over to first, and Downs moves up to second. So there is 1 out and a runner in scoring position again for the Tigers. The Tigers have left 9 men on base. The Browns have left 13 on. There have been 24 hits between the two teams and yet only 4 runs. Sam Crawford up now. Crawford is 2 for 5, and he's had 2 singles, a walk as well. Hasn't scored any runs. And he rolls a 26 for a 27. That's a ground ball to the left side. Ferris has it, throws to first, 2 away. George Skuggs now, and this is going to be it for Skuggs. And so we're going to keep making these substitutions the way we should. It'll be Charlie O'Leary hitting here for the Tigers, top of the 17th. Charlie rolls a 14 for a 43. It's a fly ball to center field, and Hoffman's got that for the out. We will go to the bottom of the 17th inning. So Donovan, no. Mullen, no. Summers, no. Seaver, yes. Ed Seaver will come into pitch. And after this, for the Tigers and for the Browns, it's going to be the starters who will start to come in. Here now is Hope Ferris. We're about 35 minutes into this video. Ferris rolls a 31 for a 9. Pop up over to the left side, and Coughlin has that for the out, 1 away. Tom Jones comes up now. And Jones rolls a 56 for a 32. It's a fly ball right field. And that's the second out. In just a second, I've got to talk with a guy. I've got to pause this just a sec. All right, and we're back here again. The marathon continues. It's Roy Hartzell now with nobody on. 2 outs, bottom of the 17th. Hartzell today, 1 for 7. This is one of those games that'll get your average to drop no matter who you are. Hartzell rolls a 14 for a 43, and here is the little E-roll. It ends up being a 26 out of the range. Fly ball to left field, and McIntyre's got that for the out, and we go to the top of the 18th. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe, based on my limited research, that the longest game of the 1908 season in real life was a 17-inning game. I think we've surpassed that. I know that the Pirates had a 17-inning one against Brooklyn, I think it was. Germany Schaefer, top of the 18th. Rolls a 32 for a 26. Ground ball over to second. Williams throws to first, 1 away. Here is Bill Coughlin. Coughlin rolls a 21 for a 30, fly ball left field, and it will be Stone who puts that away, 2 gone. Here's Matty McIntyre. and he rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a single to left, and then McIntyre able to steal second afterwards, thanks to the fact that it's an 11. So McIntyre shows that there are some guys who are not exhausted. I don't know about you guys. I'm starting to get exhausted myself. And that will bring up Ty Cobb. And so we'll see if Cobb can get it done this time. I can't tell you how many times Cobb has had a chance to drive in runs in this game. It's been all over the place, and he just can't get a hit. He's 1 for 6 today with a walk. And his next roll, look at that, is a 63 for a 31. It's a fly ball to center field, and Hoffman's got it for the out. We go to the bottom of the 18th inning. It'll be George Stone here against Ed Seaver. Seaver, already a D pitcher. And Stone rolls 54 for a 45. Here's the little E roll, and it's a 33. Fly ball to right field, and Cobb has it for the out, 1 away. Jimmy Williams. And Williams finally has something. It's an 11 for a 0. And then it's a 34 for a 6. That'll be a double to right center field. Hit number 15 here for the Browns, bottom of the 18th inning. Just so you know, in real life, this game probably wouldn't last this long because it probably would be dark by this time. But we don't worry about darkness here. Williams is on his second. No, 1 out, bottom of the 18th. It's Tubby Spencer up here. Spencer is 2 for 5, despite having an average of only 111. Singled last time up. And he rolls a 55 for an 8, and that's a single over second base. And that will finally score the runner, and that does it. So the Browns are able to win this game in 18 innings, 3-2 the final score. We had 16 hits for the Browns, 11 for the Tigers, and yet only 5 runs total for both teams combined. This was definitely a game to remember. Man, oh man. I mean, this one had just about everything you could possibly want, and then some. The Tigers had multiple opportunities to score before the 9th inning and, of course, after the 9th inning. They only made it count during the bottom of the 9th or top of the 9th inning when they scored those 2 runs. And I guess we can thank them for that because this game just continued and continued and continued. Give you a look at the box score. 4 pitchers appeared for the Tigers, including Ed Seaver, who took the loss. And for the Browns, 5 pitchers appeared. It was Bill Graham who took the victory. And man, you just look at this box score and it's just absolute chaos. 8 Browns struck out, 4 Tigers struck out. Interestingly enough, there were no double plays turned by the Browns. The Tigers turned 1. And it's just a lot of out, and that sort of thing. I'm looking here quickly. The Browns didn't steal any bases. Tigers stole 1, had 1 caught. Browns had 2 men caught trying to steal. 4 sacrifices for St. Louis against only 1 for the Tigers. And there you have it. That was an exciting one. 18 innings, the final again. And the Browns managed to pull this one off. 1 error for both teams. The Browns left on 14 men, the Tigers 11. So a little bit ugly. We got to learn how to hit the ball. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. I need to rest after this one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.